3 reasons to be concerned about China's balloons. Now, why would China invade the airspace of the United States of America with surveillance balloons and drones? What 3 reasons could rationalize their behaviour, and why should we be concerned? But before I set out the 3 reasons, here's some context. Thus far, we have shot down a confirmed Chinese balloon that crossed the United States in South Carolina. On Friday, 2 objects were shot down, one over Alaska and another in Canada, and yesterday a 4th object was downed by an F-16 in Michigan. And just to put this into perspective, according to US Air Force General VanHerck, in a Pentagon conference last night, never before has a foreign aircraft or drone been shot down over US territory by the US Air Force. The last example is Pearl Harbor, but Hawaii wasn't even a state at that point. Now, Russia regularly flies aircraft near the airspace of the US and Canada, but they've never actually entered it. So what are the potential 3 reasons to explain why China would so suddenly breach the airspace of the US, and why should we care? The first potential reason relates to the posture of the US in relation to airspace incursions. The US has a number of critically important bases providing rapid access to the South China Sea in Guam, Japan, Australia, and the Philippines. These bases would play a vital role if the US Air Force opted to defend Taiwan in the event of an invasion. And from the balloon incident, the Chinese now know more about US radar capabilities. They also now know that the F-22 fighter jets can fly far higher than their publicly known maximum altitude. And now this will allow China to adjust their tactics if they wanted to invade the airspace of the US bases near Taiwan. Now, the second reason we should care is because of the embarrassment inflicted, which has a psychological impact. The first Chinese balloon, shot down in South Carolina, managed to transverse the mainland of the United States and fly over sensitive military installations. This included nuclear missile silo bases. As a result, President Biden was attacked and ridiculed for permitting a nation with $1 trillion defense budget to be violated so visibly. This adds to the sense that the US is on the back foot and playing to the tune of the Chinese. This creates an element of psychological warfare. Many Americans are likely concerned over their airspace being violated so systematically and may now worry about the intentions of the Chinese. Now, this could be important in the near future if the US has to decide whether to militarily assist Taiwan should they be attacked. The last reason we should care about the Chinese balloon is due to the retaliatory envelope they've created for themselves. This could be in relation to the airspace inside the 9-dash line in the South China Sea. This extensive area of airspace is regularly flown over by the US Air Force in their efforts to uphold the UN Convention on the Law of the Sea. And the US shooting down Chinese objects in US airspace may be used as an excuse by the Chinese to do the same to US drones and aircraft over theirs. They may now shoot down US assets flying in airspace claimed by China in the future. This is clearly illegal under international law, but the Chinese might be about to escalate. They could treat any attacks of US assets in the South China Sea as a direct retaliation for the downing of their airborne assets over the US. Whatever the reason, this is deeply concerning geopolitically. The former Chinese doctrine of hide your strength, bide your time may have been abandoned by President Xi. We may be about to see a dramatic increase in the degree of tension between the US and China. This would come precisely at the point when tension between the US and Russia is also high. We can only hope for cool heads